It gun to captain of the ship, yeah. And it's like a lotus, so it's time to flip the script, yeah. Cruising through the bay on the fucking air. It gun to captain of the ship, yeah. And it's like a lotus, so it's time to so Buc What Ya Heard.
All right, welcome back to Buc What You Heard. My name is Gene. You can reach me at Buc What You Heard. You follow me, I will follow you back. And I am joined by my esteemed co-host, Christina. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy Friday.
Yeah, I always love your backgrounds. Your backgrounds are dope as hell, especially the fire
Oh,
cannons and the trophies and all the banners and the pennants. It just
yeah.
makes me excited for the season.
Yeah. I love decorating. So decorate my studio. My favorite thing to do.
There you go. It's crazy. We're at the last game of the season already, and we're getting ready to go into the games that really matter. So you
Right.
pretty excited?
I'm so excited. 13 more days until regular season, till the September 9th. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I cannot wait. I'm definitely going to be going to like the pregame event that's going on at Julian B. Lane Park. That's where Ed Sheeran is going to be performing. Not a
Okay.
crazy Ed Sheeran fan, but go for the experience. It's a free event. And then definitely tailgate and maybe go to the game. I don't know yet. We'll have to see what the ticket prices come down to.
Yeah, I think they're are we close to selling out? I haven't seen anything recently. I went to look before the show. I haven't seen anything specifically that says that.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it yet. So that's a kind of an up in the air kind of thing, but definitely going to be in downtown for the festivities.
Oh, absolutely. So, with everything that's going on right now, what are you most looking forward to watching tomorrow? Who is there somebody that you're really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do tomorrow in this game against the Houston Texans?
Well, I know that Bruce Arians said that the starters are going to play at least the first half of the game. So what I'm going to mostly look for is who is the starting running back. Have they chosen Leonard Fournette or have they chosen Rojo? Or is that still something that they're thinking about? Or is that still something that the two will share the starting duties of? So that's one thing to look for. Another thing is to watch that offensive line to see if they're just as solid as they were last season, because we haven't really seen them in the preseason work very much because, last game versus the Titans, we saw, the backups in there and weren't doing a great job, to be honest. And then we've got the first game. They only played, I think, a couple series, not very much. So that's definitely one thing to look for. And, I'm just looking for a dominant defense all around. So I want to see those DBs flying around. I want to see Joe Tryon in the mix with Shaq Barrett and JPP getting at the quarterback. And definitely want to see Devin White and Levante David ball out as well.
Yeah, I know for me, I want to see more of Ronald Jones. I'm really disappointed. I'm disappointed that he got injured. I love that guy.
Oh.
I'm still super bullish on Ronald Jones. I think that he can be an effective runner in this offense. I think Leonard Fournette will have will get his touches as well. And then Gio Bernard, a guy we haven't really talked about. I really have high expectations on what he can do to really help this offense along. The one thing to keep in mind, last year we had Shady McCoy in the position that Gio Bernard is in, and we really, throughout the season, whole body of work as a Buccaneer, you didn't get a whole lot of productivity.
No, not very much. I think he had one game where he was the main guy just because Rojo was injured, and I think McCoy was either injured or they were trying to save him for like the playoffs or something.
I think it was the time that Fournette was coming in, and I don't believe that Fournette was 100% ready to just come in and take starting snaps.
Right.
So
the biggest thing about Ronald Jones is something that we saw a lot last season was his hands. He doesn't have the hands and the ability to catch the ball. Something that I saw this past week in practice, I saw a highlight of Tom Brady throwing him the ball. He caught it, and it was probably like a 5 or 10 yard pass, and then Rojo ran it pretty far down the field. I'm not sure. I just saw like a little clip of it. So is that like something that we can look forward to? For sure. I'm hoping that he can develop his skills, his catching ability.
The one thing that I will say about Ronald Jones is his natural pass catching motion is not his pass catching motion is not natural.
Right.
You look at somebody like Keyshawn Vaughn, or you look at Gio Bernard when they catch the ball and how they position themselves to run up the field.
Mhm.
It's a lot different than what Ronald Jones does. Ronald Jones can make catches, and there have been times where he has, but then there are other times it's just not natural for it still is not something that's natural for him to do.
Yeah, he's a
So,
bulldozer. He
yeah,
wants to grab the ball and run people over. So first thing for him is hit people before catch the ball. So I think that's something that he struggles with a little bit in the passing game,
right.
and just wants to run guys over. So sometimes wide receivers will have a problem and they'll forget to catch the ball before they
Yeah.
run. So it's kind of a similar thing. I think he's ready to run before he can catch the ball.
And again, it's one of those things you got to play him for his strengths and use him to the best of his ability. I don't know how many times we've seen Rojo break off big runs and they get called
Yeah.
back on penalties or something to that effect. So
Mhm.
again, let's hope this season starts out clean. They
Right.
they can pick up
Absolutely.
where they left off at. So I think cohesiveness is going to be huge. I don't think you're going to, my expectations aren't real high because this will be the first time that they've played against a team in pads where they're actually getting good hits. And so you just don't know what you really have right now or how they're going to look coming
Mhm.
out of the gate. But I think it's promising when you consider last year with COVID, you didn't have a preseason.
Yeah, we didn't have this at all.
Yeah. So I know that they've gotten to work together, they've got to practice and everything, but they just haven't gotten to play together. So it's going to be really great to get to see them in a meaningless game, but just getting to see them get those reps in and get themselves ready for football speed.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. And one thing that you mentioned was, the penalties. At the beginning of last season, it was the first half of the season when they were not playing very clean football as far as penalties go. And then the second half of the season, they definitely became much more disciplined. So that's something to look for as well. Are they going to continue to be disciplined, or are they going to go back to that sloppy like plays where they get a lot of penalties?
Yeah, and I really hope that we get to see Joe Tryon with the ones. I would love to see that. Just if even if it's for a couple of reps,
Yeah.
just to see how he comes in and how he fits in with that starting line. And I think that they can really do some big things with him. I know they're going to ease him in throughout the season, and he will get his plays. I love what we saw from him, but again, it's preseason. He wasn't
Right, so we
playing
haven't been able to see very much, you
right
know. You
against.
don't have the big guys up there for him when he is starting out. You don't have, like, Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, and Shaq or, JPP up there to help with pressure. So Joe Tryon did make it to the quarterback once on that one play in against was it the Titans? Or
Yeah,
no?
it was both teams. It's
Yeah,
he should have 2 sacks
right.
theoretically, but, with the blown call and whatever, he
Yeah,
yeah.
it's still preseason for the refs, so
Yeah, but, yeah, I like what he's doing. His pressure on the quarterback is relentless. I mean, there have been a few times he's gotten stood up, but he's a rookie. He's
mhm,
still learning, and
fair enough.
what I love about him is he doesn't have like one technique. It's like some edge rushers are bull rushers and other guys are finesse guys. He could do some of both, and
Mhm.
his pursuit against the running back has been really impressive as well. So I could go on and on about Joe. Probably one of my favorites to really watch, and it's been fun kind of going back and watching that game over and over again, freezing and looking at how he went up against the offensive lineman that he's faced. But again, I want to see him in a true test against ones just to see what he does.
Right, exactly, just to see if he can stand up to, the expectation and the level that they're starting at.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's our tight end situation. I want to see OJ Howard. I want to see
Yeah, we
OJ Howard.
haven't seen very much of him at all. And like you said, it could be because they're trying to keep him healthy.
Mhm.
I don't think it's because I suggested maybe he was not healthy to begin with, but I think it might just be he has like a restricted snap count at this moment, so he can
Yeah.
only play a little bit. So maybe we'll see him get a couple of reps in tomorrow,
And
hopefully.
if you think about it, he's coming back from a major injury.
Right.
And getting yourself back into football shape, being in shape and being in football shape are two totally different things. Uh,
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
we saw Gronk when Gronk came in. We saw Antonio Brown, and it took a little bit for Antonio Brown to get his football legs under him. So at this point, I just want to see him consistently get on the field, consistently make plays, and get himself back, mentally and physically back into
Yeah.
football shape.
Even if he's just on the field, getting those reps back in, running the routes or blocking, even not even touching the ball, that is a huge thing for getting your football skills back.
Absolutely. And we saw how Gronk progressed throughout the
Yeah.
season after he started getting his football legs. And
Hmm.
AB, we saw AB. I'm telling you, AB is going to be scary this year. He's a guy that Bucks fans on Twitter have talked about, but they haven't talked about a lot. And
Right.
and I think that he's going to be a big playmaker for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. And I really expect to see big things from him as well.
I definitely agree. AB was brought in and immediately expected to be ready to go. And I
Yeah.
remember that game, and Brady kept trying to get to AB and it just was not working. And I don't even remember. I don't remember what game it was, but I remember then when Antonio Brown got his first touchdown, it was against the Raiders. And that was the game that, he was back, and that Antonio Brown was becoming a threat. So
Yeah.
just to have the whole preseason and workouts under his belt to learn the offense, he's definitely a major threat for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him. He's another guy. Um, just him staying out of trouble, him doing whatever he needed to do, and preparing himself to be ready for a full season of football. And he's got a lot of games under his belt. He's a consummate professional when it comes to practice and that kind of
Mhm.
thing. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. I want to shout out Bucks Nation Radio, Richard Rayborn, Christopher Cole, Jay McElroy of the Buckaholics. Shout out to the
Mhm.
Buckaholics. I do want to get him on next week to talk about the charity for this year.
Yeah.
Buc What You Heard does not have a charity yet, but we really need to get our butts in gear and get something together. And we're looking. We're right now looking to see what we can come up with to really contribute to and bring awareness to whatever
Mhm.
we do. So keep an eye out for that. Again, if you guys are outside of the Tampa area, outside of the Florida area, the Buckaholics are for you. You get a chance to link up with some really good people, and they have some great captains. I've met quite a few of them, and just overall, they're just great people. Bucks fans, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
one day when I go, I haven't been to a game in another place other than, Raymond James Stadium. So one day when I do go, hopefully this season, I'm hoping, definitely can't wait to party it up with the Buckaholics.
Yeah, absolutely. Carrie Koo, how you doing? Glad you're watching us. Who are you looking forward to seeing tomorrow? Anybody special? And just kind of getting back to some of the games, there's just been some. What did you think last weekend? Did you watch any of those games?
I didn't watch very many of them. I started to watch the Bucks game, and I was talking about going to it, and then I decided not to, like at the last minute, because um yeah, I was just not interested in it. It was pretty sad. It was a pretty sad game, but I mean, what can you really expect from a bunch of second, third stringers, practice squad guys? So,
You never know. There may be somebody on that roster that we're going to have to call their name, later on in the season.
oh,
When
right, absolutely. I think it's a great way to see players individually, but working together as a team, not necessarily. So you may be able to coach. It's a great way for coaches to see which players are playing up to the ability that's necessary and which are not. So they're
Yeah.
not technically looking for a cohesive unit because they've already got that in the starting. They
Mhm.
need somebody to fill in those blocks when
Exactly.
if someone goes down or if they need someone to sub in.
Yeah, you're 100%. You're spot on with that. That's basically what you're looking at. And
Mhm.
with preseason, you're looking for consistency. Always looking for somebody that's going out there and playing and doing the same thing. Or
Right.
you don't want that guy that kind of half-asses it 1 minute and then he makes a splash play and all people talk about is a splash play, but they don't look at the
Right.
overall body of work for that game, to
Yeah,
really
exactly.
determine
That
if
splash
they're
play could end up just being luck
yeah,
sometimes too.
yeah.
Like the ball could literally just float into your hand. So
How many times as Bucks fans have we seen that training camp darling that ends up not doing anything in the regular season or sometimes don't even make the team?
all the time, all the time. They'll make the team and we'll think that he's gonna be the next star and we're like, wait, what happened? Who are you?
Exactly. So yeah, we just gotta keep our eyes open and pay attention. And a lot of people don't realize this part that these games are just evaluation. I mean, these 3
Mhm.
games that we were seeing here, they're evaluation, wins and losses. I don't even put any stock in it. If somebody starts talking to me about, oh, my team beat your team and in preseason, I'm just going to kind of end that conversation right there. Hey,
I'll be
you're
like,
right.
okay,
They
it's
won.
just the
We'll get that.
preseason.
We'll get that banner mailed out to you tomorrow. So
Yeah, I'll have the Super Bowl. I'll have the Super Bowl mailed out to
exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
you.
So it's crazy. You kind of go around the league. We see Teddy Bridgewater was actually named the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. So
Yeah. Mhm.
they're finally set at quarterback, and now they can kind of focus on what they need to do and get ready for the season. They're in a very, very tough division. So
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
That West division, it's like the
uh,
wild, wild West out there for
yeah,
sure. It's definitely
the
crazy.
AFC and the NFC both they're
Right.
both
Both
yeah.
Wests are always very dominating and
Yeah.
it's kind of scary.
Yeah, so again, you never know. We may see one of these teams. We may meet up one of these teams in the NFC West in the playoffs. So
Right.
it's always
Absolutely.
it's always good to keep your eye on what's going on in that facet. And then you talk about the AFC. Did you get to watch any of the Jaguars game, Jaguars Saints
I
on Monday?
Oh, I saw some highlights of it. And
Okay,
that's one thing that, yeah, we could talk about. What did Jameis Winston do? He played pretty decently from
yeah,
what I saw.
yeah,
So that was pretty good to see. And then Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars was named the starting
yeah.
quarterback as well, which I mean, I kind of already knew that. I don't know why they were.
I I really don't think that's a good idea.
You
Uh,
don't.
uh,
Okay. Well,
I
no, I don't either. I'm a big proponent on rookie quarterbacks not starting, but
I mean, if he came out and showed the skill set, hey, he can go out and do whatever, I'd be fine with that. But when you consider their offensive line is not good,
yeah,
and
he's just gonna get
you
racked.
got you still got Gardner Minshew is serviceable. I would just see who you could get in free agency, build up that offensive line, get him a few more weapons before you roll him out for the for next season. But
Right.
again, some people feel like a trial by fire works. Uh, I don't know.
I think a lot of that happens a lot, and either the rookie quarterback will come out successful
Exactly.
or they will flop.
Or no, exactly.
So it's really one or the other. It's
Mhm.
not just average. It's not
Right.
just it's either a flop completely or, they do really well.
Yeah. And we've seen this in the NFL over and over again. You roll a guy out and you put him in there as a rookie and mentally
They're not ready.
they're not ready.
They're just
And
children.
yeah. And so when I go back and look at some of these players, and especially like in a situation like this, Miami's another example. You
Yep,
got
Tua.
you got Ryan Fitzpatrick and he's balling out, and then all of a sudden they take him out and put in Tua.
Yeah,
I really don't think they did Tua any favors by taking him out or by putting him in and taking him out and putting him back in again. I
yeah,
think they should have just left him out and let Fitzpatrick finish. let Tua learn under Fitzpatrick and then roll him out this year with a rock solid defense, some nice offensive weapons, and an offensive line that can really, protect the quarterback.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know what you've got. I still don't know what you've got with him with Tua. So,
Yeah, I have no idea. And that's going to be a big question for sure for Miami fans. Is he going to come out and ball out, or is he going to just
yeah,
like I said, is he going to flop under the pressure?
yeah,
So, I mean, I'm hoping for good things for him, but again, you never know.
absolutely. Another guy, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold. Everybody was wondering: is Sam Darnold a bad quarterback, or was he a good quarterback in a bad system? And now he's in, he's in Carolina, and it just remains to be seen what he's going to do. And
Right.
I think that coach, that system, is very well suited for him. I
Yeah.
think that if he's the guy, he's going to benefit from that system.
Right. I think quarterbacks that go from to the Jets and then leave the Jets, they end up having a pretty decent career. And I expect the same for Sam Darnold. I think he's a pretty average quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's not a star. He's not an elite quarterback, but he'll definitely get the Panthers some wins.
Yeah. And kind of going back to what you were saying, the question still remains, is he a good quarterback was he a good quarterback in a bad system, or was he just a bad quarterback, period? And
Right. I think, yeah, we'll figure that out if he was a good quarterback or a bad quarterback. But I think just in general, the Jets system is just flawed completely. They really
yeah,
need to make some changes. They've been trying to, and yeah, it's just not been working.
yeah. And a name, a blast from the past, I was noticing in NFL news, they had Saquon Barkley out running some reps. So
Oh, nice.
the Bucks may get to see him as well. These are the people that I'm talking about are, these are teams that the Buccaneers are going to face at some point in the season. So it's always important to talk about, how these teams are doing or what's going on. Example, the Dallas Cowboys,
Hmm.
with Dak Prescott. Is Dak Prescott 100%?
Yeah,
I
we don't know.
We don't know. And I couldn't tell you if he will be ready. I know that shoulder injury has been really a bother for him, so we'll see how he recovers from that as well.
And then just to be up against one of the best or one of the best front seven in the NFL, that's gonna be tough for him for sure. If that shoulder isn't 100%.
Yeah. I mean, just yesterday, Kellen Moore said that Dak is not on a pitch count, so I guess they're trying to say he's okay. Let's hope that is the case. You want people at their best when they're it's a good measuring stick to see where the
Oh,
Tampa Bay
absolutely.
Buccaneers are, and I don't wish injury on anybody. So that's
No.
kind of where I'm at.
If you want to be the best, you got to play the best.
That's right, absolutely. That's kind of where I'm at with all this.
Hmm.
So, again, there's just, little things that are going on in the NFL and around the league. Have you been watching Hard Knocks? I don't like Dallas, so I haven't been watching them.
Honestly, I have not been watching it, and I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even know that Dallas was on Hard Knocks this year. Like
Yeah.
I will probably get yelled at by a lot of people for not knowing that, but I just realized it the other day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there we go. So,
Yeah, that's like that's
no,
how
I knew it. I knew it, but I'm just as bad as you because I was like, all right, no, it's not interesting to me.
I never watched Hard Knocks until it was the Bucks. Like I watched Hard Knocks like crazy when it was the Bucks.
I watched it right up until it was the Bucks.
Really?
And then we had that embarrassing season. The Hard Knock season was super embarrassing.
It
Uh,
was a bad season.
yeah, it was just like a 5-win season, totally,
Hmm.
totally underachieving and everything. And then it was just after that, I was like, man, this is too painful to watch. I'm not watching this anymore. So every so often I'd catch an episode here, but it just wasn't compelling. And I'm not just saying this. I mean, if I post this question on social media, I'm kind of curious what kind of answers I would get.
Yeah.
But I just don't find the Cowboys compelling. There's nothing about this team to be honest, that's compelling.
They're America's team.
Mike McCarthy is not compelling. He's about as basic as you can get. He's just not that guy.
It's America's team, Gene. What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
What are you gonna do? You can't do nothing about it. I mean, just like when Ruth the Truth, she's a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
And that's just because her dad was a Dallas Cowboys fan. She grew up in that system. So, I mean, it's understandable. You get that passed down from generation to generation, and you just become a fan. And unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys haven't lived up to that generation, to the generations now that people's parents and grandparents had.
Yeah, I think when Jimmy Johnson was let go, I think Dallas was never the same. And I don't include that Barry Switzer game because that was still Jimmy Johnson's team. So I don't include that. I include that in the Jimmy Johnson dynasty more so than anything else. So I don't know.
Yeah, and then obviously you're just gonna have the people that live in Dallas who will most likely root for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking in the chat. Ramona,
no, it's okay. I see Ramona's comments, and that's throwing me off right now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see anything on Tua getting traded. I hope she's joking with me.
I don't know. Ramona is saying that she's hearing rumors that Tua is being traded and that Deshaun Watson is going to Miami. I really doubt that.
Yeah,
if it would have happened, it would have happened already.
Yeah, just doing it this close to the season. That's just. Let's see. Is there anything on Deshaun Watson here?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. And that's another thing I was looking it up before the game. Did Deshaun Watson get the starting position?
I don't know. I just have not been following that.
I was Googling it before the show, and there was nothing specifically about who's getting the starting position. So I have no idea. There's Deshaun Watson, Tyrod Taylor, and Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm not. They're saying he's just waiting for the allegations to clear. I don't know. I guess that's what would have to happen in order to make this. That would be kind of a ill-advised trade. And how does that affect a quarterback knowing that he could potentially be getting traded? I mean, and normally it gets like dropped on a quarterback, and by the time they figure it all out, they're not supposed to be leading a team at the beginning of a season.
Right.
It's kind of like, I don't know. Would you say this is kind of ill-advised?
Oh, absolutely. I don't understand why.
I don't get
why that would happen, especially when we were just talking about benching Ryan Fitzpatrick for Tua, having Tua start, and then trading Fitzpatrick and naming Tua the starting quarterback. So why would you go through all that just to trade him?
Yeah, that's all. I don't know. That's kind of a head scratcher. I think that's why I'm not a GM. I think that
exactly. But Ramona, if that does end up happening, we will credit you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely do that. We'll see about getting you a T-shirt shipped out to you as well. If this does,
I called the Tua Watson trade.
Exactly. All right. Watson is the fourth quarterback in Houston. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? Let's see. This is what I love about the NFL. I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm up on everything. And then one of the people that
it's one of the random teams like the Texans, like they're pretty irrelevant for us, specifically for the Bucs.
Yeah, well, we'll see them. Oh, and we will see them tomorrow too. So that's going to be intriguing.
Yeah, that's the game for tomorrow.
Yeah, so
that's what I was looking up before the game. I couldn't see if Deshaun Watson was starting, but from what I could tell, it looked like it was this quarterback, Tyrod Taylor. Never heard of him before.
Really? Tyrod Taylor's been in the league for a while. He's
and I saw that he's been in the league. He's kind of like a journeyman, a young one, because he was only drafted in 2012, 2011.
He's been part of some really bad. He's had a lot of bad luck.
Yeah, of
He's,
course. That always does happen.
he's come to teams where he's either gotten injured or the person that they drafted is like taking his job. So he's just
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah. So I get that. Some quarterbacks have that struggle for sure. So if he's getting the starting role, I mean, good luck to him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it looks like you got Jeff Driscoll, Davis Mills, Tyrod Taylor, and Deshaun Watson is the number 4 quarterback. Okay, so that makes sense.
So they're saying Jeff Driscoll is the first?
It looks like Jeff. I think. I
Or
would
maybe
think
they're
it would
still
be.
trying to figure
I
that
would think
out.
it would be Tyrod Taylor would be fighting for that starting position.
That's what I thought I saw when I looked it up, and on
No,
ESPN,
it is. I'm looking right now at the depth chart.
yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, Jeff Driscoll, Davis Mills.
Wow. Yeah, so they must be either waiting for the allegations to simmer down, or they're looking to get rid of him,
Wow.
Deshaun Watson.
It's just we're so we're right near the beginning of the season. This is crazy. And then Johnny Dean is mentioning that rumors had Matt Ryan going to the Broncos. Now it's Watson for Tua.
What? Where are you hearing these rumors? I have not heard any of this.
Yeah, so that's something that you kind of keep an eye on the wire to see who's going to do what. But I had heard the Matt Ryan to the Broncos until they announced Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback.
Wow.
And normally when I hear stuff like that, and then you see what happens after, it's like the offer must not have been good enough and the talks fell apart. And in order to go ahead and close ranks and get everybody ready for the season, then they go ahead and announce their starting quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. It's just too late in the season or too late in the
yeah.
It's not too late.
It's too close
to the too close to the season starting to make huge changes like that.
Yeah, there you go. Shooter in the Stash. What is up, my man?
Hey, Shooter and Stash.
Ramona K said, could Roger Goodell hold up the Deshaun Watson trade to Miami? That's interesting. I'm not sure how that would work.
I don't know. Is Deshaun Watson under any sort of like penalty or
no
restrictions based on the allegations?
He's still under investigation. The investigation is ongoing right now.
Oh, okay. So
but again, it would be irresponsible to make a move like that where you're moving a franchise quarterback. You're swapping franchise quarterbacks.
Right.
And then you run into there's a large chance that your guy could get indicted and end up with, losing him from the year, just under these, penalties and stuff. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess until probably after any sort of allegations or anything comes to a conclusion with his case, then I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. I need to get caught up in the chat here. This is great. I mean, this is stuff that I know we should probably already know this. I know, but it's cool to be able to talk about stuff like this. And, these teams because the NFL is just kind of a microcosm of the world. And I know I say that a lot, but, there's so much that you can really pick up, just, going around and seeing what's going on and, familiarizing yourself with players that you're going to see your favorite team face when the season starts.
Yeah, wow. Exactly. Like the Houston Texans are normally not on my radar at all, as far as because we normally don't play them and don't know much about them, to be honest. I just know they're not doing that great, and the stuff with Deshaun Watson, and then all the trades that were made. So
yeah, it's been a really active season, and a lot of these teams don't look anything like what they did the year before. So, I mean, case in point, the Atlanta Falcons. When you look at the Atlanta Falcons, they do not look like the team you saw the year before. New Orleans, missing their starting quarterback. I mean, they don't look like the same team that you saw before. And then with free agency and what they had to go through with salary cap, they've lost a lot of players that they should have had, and they just don't look like that team anymore.
Right. Yeah. A lot of things have changed for teams all around the league. A lot of things are going to be different for this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Misador, you're right. The Texans will not be able to mend fences. I think that Deshaun Watson was on his way out the door anyway before all these allegations occurred. And if let's say, for instance, what if all these allegations hadn't happened, I really believe Deshaun Watson would already be on another team right now.
Exactly. I think he was requesting a trade, and then all the allegations were starting to come out. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it was happening.
That's exactly what happened, and I think that's what's kind of held everything up, is that he's got all these allegations hanging over his head. I mean, I think the FBI is involved as far as
Really? I had no idea.
yeah. So it's going to be one of those things. It's kind of out of your hands. You just kind of have to sit back and wait. And again, you're doing a disservice to your fans, your season ticket holders.
Of course.
It's not fair to them when you've got everything kind of held in limbo because it is.
Yeah.
That's like Tua. I really believe Tua would have been just fine if they would have just kept Fitzpatrick in, let him play throughout the year. And then, if anything, you're buying your coach a little bit more time if things don't work out. You're buying him at least 2 more years just because you got a rookie coming out, and you just kind of go from there. So I think it probably would have worked out better had they done that, but here we are. And now there's a potential that he could get traded. Is that a good trade? You still don't know what you have in Tua.
Right. Yeah. Why would you
be that guy?
After you bench Ryan Fitzpatrick and name Tua the starting quarterback, why would you go through that and then not even have him play a whole season?
100%. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what you have in him. Shooter, who do you think will be the Bucs' biggest competition in the South? I'm sure it will be New Orleans, but please don't count out a healthy Carolina Panthers team with healthy Christian McCaffrey. They could be formidable. But again, I don't even know that. They're so mysterious because we haven't seen them, and we don't know what you have with Sam Darnold either.
Yeah, that's one thing that we're gonna have to watch. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
You looked so scared when I started talking.
No, I was actually trying to find the game, the Steelers game.
Oh, so one thing that we'll have to watch before we play either the Panthers or the Saints is we'll have to watch to see how they play against other teams to see what we'll be up against. Because the preseason right now isn't giving us any indication of what the Panthers have to offer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I don't know. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. And I think that game is just. I'm trying to find the stats on this game here. Inside highlights. Yeah. So Haskins. Oh, okay. Haskins. Okay, so Haskins is starting. All right. Well, this game is kind of just kicking off here. The Carolina Panthers and the Pittsburgh Steelers is just now kicking off. So this will be a good time to kind of get a sample size of what Sam Darnold can do once he gets on the field. So we'll be looking for that. We'll definitely be looking for that. So other than that, it looks like the Detroit Lions are up 7-3 on the Indianapolis Colts. And the Philadelphia Eagles New York Jets game has not kicked off yet. So we've got 3 games on tap tonight that we can kind of get to watch. The Eagles will be a team that the Buccaneers will face. Of course, Carolina and the Colts are the other team that the Bucs will face as well. So
the Bucs are playing the Jets, correct?
They're playing the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Gotcha.
So it'll be the Giants, and then I think the Colts. I had to look at the schedule, but I think the Colts are the last game of the season. I believe not the last game. I had to pull that up.
No, they are playing the Jets, January 2nd.
Oh, okay.
I just looked it up.
Yeah, they are. I'm sorry. I'm thinking division. So they're playing the Giants and the Jets. My bad.
Yes.
You are right.
And Jets. Giants, Jets, Colts.
Bills.
No Eagles.
The Eagles are in the East. I thought they were playing the Eagles too.
No.
I don't know why I was thinking. Oh,
they are. Never mind. I just saw them. I need to familiarize myself.
Yeah, the Bucs are playing.
I thought I knew it, but apparently I didn't.
And Johnny Dean, you're right. Christian McCaffrey should be on a pitch count, I believe. Honestly, if this guy was healthy last year, I think Teddy Bridgewater, whether a lot of people like it or not, would have still been a Carolina Panther.
Right.
And by that, I just felt like there are just some certain pieces that um, they didn't really do him any favors. The offensive line didn't do him any favors. He was continuously in duress and under duress, and it was just tough for him last year.
No,
So
I liked Teddy Bridgewater in Carolina. I thought that he would have. I think they should have kept him one more season. I think he would have done a good job. So I'm excited to see what he can do for the Broncos.
yeah, it's going to be great to
Because
see.
I've always liked Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's a decent quarterback, and I just think he hasn't been given all the proper tools to be a successful quarterback.
It's funny that you say that because last year when he was in Carolina, I've got a lot of friends that are Panthers fans, and there's a couple of podcasts that I go on for the Carolina Panthers. And, those guys were like furious that, Teddy Bridgewater was even in Carolina because, Cam Newton had left. And, those are big.
Well, yeah, they wanted Cam Newton.
Yeah. So I'm telling them, I'm like, Teddy Bridgewater is not as bad as you guys are making him out to be.
No.
And when Carolina started winning games, that was when McCaffrey was healthy. It was like, yeah, you look what you've got here. They're winning games, and then McCaffrey goes down and tries to come back, and he's injured again, and you start losing some of your defensive players as well to injury, and it just went downhill from there. So, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. He will. Yeah, he wasn't given the proper tools. They should have given him an extra year, but they wanted to move quickly, and we'll see how Sam Darnold does.
Yeah. What do you think of him? I mean,
Sam Darnold?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on him?
I definitely believe he was in a bad system with the Jets, and we're just going to have to see how he does. If Christian McCaffrey is healthy, he is that offense. And if he stays healthy, they'll definitely win some games. And I think Sam Darnold has a lot to prove if he wants to continue being a quarterback in the NFL for sure. So I think we're going to see, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see him do well. I think we'll see him succeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's too early to tell. I would rather just kind of wait and see what he does because this is a new system and see kind of how he fits into everything.
Right. Yeah. I think maybe they'll go maybe even, win some, lose some, be okay.
Well, with them playing 17 games, they're either going to have a winning season or a losing season.
Oh, so. Right. I forgot about that now. You can't be 500.
Yeah, you can't throw the 500 answer out.
Why did they do that?
So basically, I think they took away, they took away a preseason game and made it a regular game. So, and they made just one more game count. So that's kind of cool they're able to do that. But it's more football for us.
Exactly. More football. And then, if the Bucs go back to the playoffs, well, when they go back to the playoffs, even more football and more football till the Super Bowl, more football.
There you go.
Because normally we were done in January, beginning of January, we were done.
Yep. And now, again, I'm going to be enjoying this because you see how fast the preseason went.
It is going very fast, I think.
Yep. And like I said, we're at the last game, so we're going to
13 days until the first game. I mean, it's a little closer for us than other teams just because it's on a it's Thursday night football, but I'm definitely very excited.
So it looks like Sam Darnold's having a pretty good start.
He's been doing well.
Yeah, let me pull up his stats real quick.
Misa Dara said you could have a 500 record with 8-8 and a tie.
Yeah, I guess you could.
So you can.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's not.
Like, do you want to strive for that?
No, hell no.
No, I know.
You never want to strive for a tie.
No, that's like I've always been baffled by the tie.
Yeah, they should force people to play until there's a winner.
Fight to the death.
Exactly. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. There you go.
Absolutely.
So let's see. Sam Darnold's 4 for 4, 17 yards so far. It's still early. DJ Moore. It looks like DJ Moore and Chupa Hubbard are their 2 receivers. making catches. Nice. So yeah, I'm now that football's on, now I'm kind of like distracted. I'm trying
You're trying to watch. I know.
to
I just saw. I just saw a big play or something happened. I was just on Twitter,
Oh,
but
okay. Yeah, you know what? I gotta well, now it's too late now, but I was gonna say I gotta get you Game Pass. I
I
get
know I don't have it. I'm gonna get it eventually.
Yeah, so I mean I have it and we'll talk offline.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
All
But
right.
so let's talk about the game tomorrow then.
Okay.
We're gonna see the Bucks starters for at least the first half. What do you expect to see happen?
Um I want to see the whole team working on continuity.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's probably going to be the biggest part of all this. If they're going to be successful, is being able to play together as a unit, and just not have. In the past, if you've watched the Bucks in the past, players are worried about what other players are doing instead of worrying about their assignment.
Yeah, do
Care of
your
your assignment.
job.
The guy next to you is going to take care of his assignment, and that's how you have a really solidified team. That's what you saw a lot of in the playoffs, especially last year. Was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? You had players; they knew their assignments, they took care of business, and they moved on like they were supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you want, the carryover from last year, from the Super Bowl, from the playoffs. You want them to bring that into this season and get a fast start. I want to see the secondary start off fast. I want to
Yes.
see this because normally, historically, I would say over the past decade, the secondary has just had a slow start. And they
Yeah,
pick
the
up.
secondary of the defense is definitely the weakest link. And the issue with that, last season and the season before, is they were all rookies last season, or not last season, but the season before that, they were all rookies. And then now they're in their third year. So they've got to start showing some maturity, which they started to last season. And I hope they continue on that as well.
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we got to get them out. We got to get them out of the gate quick.
Mhm.
And just this game tomorrow, please defeat the injuries. No injuries. Let this team come out, everybody healthy and ready to go for that first game against Dallas. I mean, that's my hope and prayer right now is that nobody gets injured and that
Right.
they can just come out and do whatever it is they need to do, to do that. And again, I think they're playing into the third quarter, I believe.
Oh, is it the third?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
All righty
Ooh,
then.
Sam Darnold is he- he's doing some risky stuff.
He's got something to prove for sure.
Absolutely,
Why
absolutely. Now
not? I mean, honestly, if you've got something to prove as a quarterback, so go big or go
go
home.
home. There
Yeah,
you
go
go.
big or you're being traded. So
That's a great
those are your options.
Hey, all right, King Cook, how are you doing? Good to hear from you. Who are you looking forward to seeing tomorrow for this game? Who are you looking forward to watching? We haven't seen much of Gronk. I'd like to see Gronk out there a couple of series.
Yeah, we'll see some Gronk spikes out there. Make
That's
sure
right.
he's back in football shape, or if he was partying too much over the break. I don't
Exactly.
think he was. I didn't see much of him partying. I think he
No,
maybe kept it. He
I
kept it
think
chill.
didn't Brady say he's in the best shape that he's ever been in?
Yeah, I think so. I know Brady said that he personally is in the best shape he's ever been in. I'm sure. Yeah, I think he did say that about Gronk as well. I
And,
just remember at the
and
beginning. I
he
just
said
remember at the beginning of last season, he was like running in slow motion and very out of shape.
hey,
Even like physical shape. I think not even just football condition. I think he was just out of regular physical shape too.
yeah, and how long had he been out of the game for like a year or two?
I think it was at least 2 seasons,
Yeah.
and he was on a he was on a party train for sure.
So yeah, again, here's a guy. I'm glad he's back. He's got a year under his belt in Bruce Arians' offense, or I guess you should say Byron and Tom's offense.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't change.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would love to see, the relationship between Byron Leftwich and Tom Brady just improve more and more. I think as we saw the season go on last season, we saw it just get better and better. So they have a lot to learn from each other. And I think that's how they became so successful towards the end of the season.
Yeah. Shooter, I have NFL Game Pass, so I'm just watching the game on Game Pass online, and that's pretty much it.
That's it. And the story.
Real quick, I want to shout out Bucks Report. Thank you guys so much for giving us the platform to talk on. Myself and Christina going into our second season, doing our thing. And oh yeah, congratulations on your 1 year anniversary.
Oh yeah, it was my 1 year anniversary. 1 year ago, Tampa Sports Bay was born.
I remember that conversation where we were just sitting there talking, and we're like, "Oh, we gotta get you on Twitter." I mean, that's
yeah.
And now look
It's been
you're an OG Twitter person now.
Yeah, it's been more than I ever could have thought would happen in a year, honestly. So I can't wait for this season. I can't wait for many more, and just excited to keep, being here for Bucks Nation.
That's right. That's exactly right. The Bucks are defending champs, so
yeah,
you got to love that.
I picked the best season to start becoming the Tampa Bay.
Exactly. Johnny Dean said, I want to see Howard. It would be nice to finally see him live up to expectations. Doubtful, but can't help but wishing. I'm right there with you, man. I want to see. I just hope the football gods can keep him healthy. I want to see what he can do in a full season when he's healthy and he's in football shape and he's connected with Tom Brady and they're working well together. I want to see what he can do in a full season. I mean, that's just, even if it's just one season, even if he moves on, I just want to say, okay, we've seen what he can do, because there are so many times where you watch him and he's getting there, and then something happens, he'll get injured or nicked up, then he'll be out and he'll come back, he's getting there, and then, something happens. But he just, when you watch him at times, like his connectivity with Tom Brady at the beginning of the season was amazing. I love that. I love seeing that. And, I just knew, okay, these guys are going to really do some things. And then all of a sudden, nothing. He gets injured, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So we know he has the physical tools. We know that he can block. He's a good blocker. He's good at what he does. Just want to see him out there the whole series.
Right. I think if I were the coach, if I were Bruce Arians or Byron Leftwich, I would I got distracted reading Shooter's comment. Thank you, Shooter. I would take it slow with OJ Howard because he's gotten injured at the beginning of the season, every single season. So definitely take it slow. I wouldn't count on him being in there every single play. I wouldn't count on him getting the ball very much in the beginning. I would just want to see him out there doing the reps as far as, taking the routes and, helping out with blocking. But I think he needs to take a slow start.
I agree. I think you have him on a pitch count until at least like game 7 or 8, and then you kind of let him loose.
And then you let him go, let him loose.
Yeah, that's
it's not like, because you have Gronk, you have Cameron Brate, and you have Tanner Hudson. So it's not like you need somebody to be there. We want OJ Howard to succeed and do well, just because, he was supposed to be such a threat to he's just supposed to be such a weapon and a threat on our offense. So we want to see him do well, but it's not necessarily like we need him to be 100% right away.
I think everybody just needs to play their role, and he needs to take care of their assignments, and they need to go out and execute. I think with the squad that the Bucks have right now, if they go out and execute, the only teams that are really beating Tampa are themselves, whether it's with penalties or mental mistakes or injuries, just things that, I wouldn't say injuries, but a lot of things the Buccaneers can control.
Right. Yeah. You can't control the injuries.
Yeah. And the question is, do they control some of the things that you're seeing from them? So again, it's going to be very telling. I would say personally, the first 6 games will give you a sample size of what you're going to get from Tampa the rest of the season. You can't go by the first game out of the gates, second, third, fourth game out of the gates. I've seen teams go 5-0, 6-0, and then just turn around and just lose it all after that, or
Oh,
melt down.
absolutely. They're hot in the
Yeah.
beginning and then they just die.
hmm So if you can look at the consistency of a team and see what they do well and what they don't do well, it gives you a real good indication of what kind of team you're going to see going on throughout the rest of the season. And Mr. Everything's Bucks, you're absolutely
Mhm.
right. OJ got to do something before the trade deadline. I think that this is a season where he has to show out. He
Of
needs to
course.
he needs to get film out there, just to show what he's capable of doing. And with the injuries, it's kind of a buyer beware kind of thing to
Yeah, it's like, is this like this car, is it a lemon or not?
and the question is, will he be able to make it through a season? And that's what a lot of, I'm sure, coaches and owners are looking at when they look at him and decide, is this a guy that could fit in our organization, or what happens with him, because he is a
Mhm.
talent, but durability has just been a question throughout his.
Yeah, he's just been very, very unlucky, which you don't
Yeah,
want to see, especially in one of your players.
yeah, absolutely. I'm right there with you. That's just crazy. It looks like the Well, it looks like Carolina Panthers are driving. Sam Darnold under center. Well, I mean, it looks like he's in the shotgun now. Yeah, he's in the
Mhm.
shotgun. Um,
Sam Darnold has
y-
started.
yeah, he's playing right now. Oh, that's a nice ball. He threw a nice ball right there. So
That's good.
yeah, so we'll see what
Yeah,
they
I
do.
think he's a safe quarterback.
Yeah, but again, is he like the guy that's going to lead you to the playoffs? Is he that guy?
Not this season.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the quarterbacks in the NFL and ask yourself, can they lead a team to the playoffs? Can they lead a team deep into the playoffs? And you just kind of wonder about that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I mean, they've got a short yardage situation right now, 2nd and 3. Let's see what they do here, and they run the ball, and the offensive line is not doing them any favors. They got to use more play action.
Yeah. Is Christian McCaffrey playing or no?
I couldn't tell. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of. I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him, not in a
No,
preseason
it's
game.
not. It's not. He's not out there.
Yeah, definitely would not do that. That would
Jeez.
not be wise.
That
That's
O
another player. Yeah, he's just consistently injury prone. So
that O line is not doing them any favors, doing the offensive line any favors. So
yeah, and that's sometimes a problem. You think your quarterback is bad. It's not the quarterback, it's the offensive line.
yeah, I mean, this dude just like whiffed a block, just like
Like, ooh,
totally
what
let the
just
guy.
happened?
He looked like Caleb Beninock out there. Oh, that was another nice pass right there.
Okay, so he's got
First
some nice
down.
passes coming through.
Yep. DJ Moore, first down.
Nice. All right.
So it's gonna be fun to watch this game
Got
when
some
we're
nice
we're all
passes
done
coming
here.
through.
Yep. DJ Moore, first down. Oh,
Nice. All right.
so it's gonna be fun to watch. Sorry, I've got my.
I'm like, where's my voice coming from?
Sorry, I was just watching. I'm trying to watch the game and everything here too. So,
Yeah. You're
um,
multitasking.
yeah, but yeah, there's again, this is going to be a fun. This is right before the pressure gets on, and the Bucks really are
Mhm.
out here as the defending world champions, and
Yeah,
we're
they already have a number of pressure on them
yeah,
as the defending world champions.
yeah. I totally realize that. Mr. Everything Bucks, what is your opinion on Kyle Trask as our future starting quarterback?
We
Um,
didn't get to see enough of him, in my
I,
opinion.
I I would have to say the line didn't do him any favors, and the wide receivers that he was throwing to, I thought he made some good decisions,
Hmm.
but we need to see more of him. I don't think you'll see a whole lot of him this season. I think next season is where he's going to really, uh, get to show what he can do. Getting to sit and learn the speed of the NFL
Oh
and
my goodness.
learn.
Just to sit next to
Yeah,
Tom Brady and talk
exactly.
to Tom Brady day in and day out.
Yeah,
That's a quarterback's dream. That's a college kid's dream.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about the goat, man. So that's definitely something to really look forward to. So, Christina, what do you got going on this weekend?
No big plans. Definitely watching the game tomorrow. Not sure where or with who, but definitely watching the game. So, how about yourself? Any plans?
Um, I'm actually thinking about barbecuing tomorrow, so it's gonna be my
Barbecuing for the game?
exactly.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, so get to watch the game a little bit and just relax on the weekend,
Of
just
course,
because
yeah, the weekends for relaxing for sure.
yeah, and we're getting ready to get everything kicked off for the regular season, so it's going to be exciting to actually talk about. And just think
Mhm.
about this time next week, we're going to be just kind of going over the game and what's getting
I
ready to happen,
know.
and then pretty soon that's it. S- We're
Yeah, we're gonna be ready to go.
yeah, absolutely. So we'll go ahead and jump out of here. I'm gonna let you get back to what you were doing. Guys, thank you so much for checking us out. Greatly appreciated on all the different platforms, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Bucks Report YouTube. All you guys, you're greatly appreciated. Shooter in the Stash, King Cook, everything, Mr. Everything's Bucks, Johnny D.
Workaholics,
Yeah, the Buckaholics, of course.
Ramona, always in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, Ramona, like we said, I'm gonna get you a t-shirt out to you. I'll get a t-shirt, Miami Dolphins t-shirt shipped out to you if everything does work out like what you're saying.
With Tua
You're,
and
yeah, 'cause
Watson.
you're the one that broke that story, so we'll make sure.
Breaking news from Ramona.
Here we go. For Cole, um, Carrie, just so many people. Yeah, Bucks Nation Radio. Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
You're greatly appreciated. I appreciate your interaction. We'll have the phone lines open next week. We're going to go back to the phone lines and, give people an opportunity to win t-shirts. And we're going to go back to, what we were doing last season. So it's going to be fun. Shout out to Smack Apparel.
Yes.
Smack Apparel has really been a big part of Buc What You Heard. And I love the relationship we have with them. And you guys are greatly appreciated. Shout out to Bucks Report. Thank you guys for what you do. And
Mhm.
be sure to check out the website, bucksreport.com, or check them out on Facebook. And, check out some of the articles that they've written. And,
Absolutely.
you won't be sorry.
Hmm. Absolutely.
All right. And we are out of here.